Human thought does not happen in a straight line. It branches, it spirals, and it naturally bleeds across multiple disciplines. But the tools we use to manage knowledge often do the opposite. When we force fluid, multidimensional ideas into rigid, linear folders, we lose the nuance that made the idea valuable. Kyle Roberts lives at this intersection. He is a professional butcher in Australia who simultaneously theorizes on quantum fluid dynamics and designs patents for energy-emitting glass. Kyle calls the friction between these worlds the cracked egg. In butchery, forcing a flat ruler onto the natural curve and grain of a primal cut ruins the meat. He argues that rigid academic systems do the same thing to organic theories. A fluid universe of information cannot survive in a static file system. To map data as it naturally evolves, we need a system that functions like an infinite librarian. Effectively managing complex knowledge has become a task of translation, finding the bridge between raw insight and formal logic. The process begins by capturing everything. You collect massive amounts of chaotic, raw input and let it pile up without trying to categorize it first. For Kyle, that means dumping analogies about Wagyu fat directly next to metric tensor mathematics and NDA TAFs for solar-powered windows. Once the data is in, an autonomous pattern recognition engine begins to evaluate the mess. This is the 24+1 framework. The AI ignores traditional file types and instead scans this 3D space for the overlapping mathematical and conceptual seams between different disciplines. Watch how the nodes click together. The system takes Kyle's practical intuition for deducing the negative space in a box of stock and aligns it with a node representing the holographic principle. The AI acts as an objective translator, uncovering a shared geometric logic. It shows that the butcher's method for weighing stock and the physicist's model of space-time curvature are built on the same underlying principles. This pattern recognition takes raw, disconnected human intuition and structures it into a verifiable theory. With the connections mapped, the pipeline translates that web of ideas into formal documents tailored for specific industries. The AI translates Kyle's handwritten notes into the rigidly formatted LaTeX code required by academic preprint servers. It also handles the commercial side, taking abstract concepts about ionized gas layers and automatically generating patent inquiry drafts for renewable energy companies. The core genius of the idea remains the same. The AI simply provides the dialect the target audience expects to hear. This translation pipeline allows an isolated thinker to become a credible participant in global innovation. Historically, the highest barrier to entry in science has been the impenetrable language and rigid gatekeeping of the ivory tower. AI knowledge hubs bridge this gap, giving self-taught researchers the tools to speak the dialect of elite institutions without losing their original perspective. Humanity no longer has to discard cross-disciplinary insights as noise just because they aren't presented in a traditional format. If you stop forcing your ideas into rigid grids and let an algorithm find the fractal connections, the results can be startling. An AI cognitive bridge transforms raw, chaotic intuition into a language the world can understand and act upon.